All right, so I searched high and low all over the globe for the most sexiest fragrances for 2026. And I think I found at least 10 that are gonna blow your mind. Now, I don't know about you, but I love smelling sexy. I love feeling sexy. I like when my wife finds me attractive and says, "Ooh, you smell or look sexy." For me, you already know, I'm a hat guy. A nice rim hat and a pair of really nice shades or sunglasses like I have on right now, for me puts me in that, GQ mood where I feel the most sexiest. And when I throw on that smell good, that's just cherry on top. So I can't recommend these sunglasses for you guys. Well, I could, but that's not what this channel is about. Hey, comment down below and I'll tell you where I got my sunglasses from. But if you guys want some banging, sexy, alluring, seductive fragrances, you come to the right place. And I need you to sit back, relax, get some popcorn. It's about to go down. So the first fragrance I have, I just got this fragrance last year, around I think like December or so. And I've been talking about Granado, the house from Brazil that has really shaken everything up in my collection, in my view of collecting. I didn't even know Brazil was on it like that when it came to fragrances. Look at my bottle. This is, you can see that. This is less than a year I've had this, but the proof is in the pudding. Favoro Intensivo is, bro, there's a note in here that I didn't even know existed. Apparently there is a sugarcane liqueur that's made in Brazil that you can find here in the States, but it is super popular there, called Kanjaka or Kajaka, and is made from sugarcane. And that boozy sweetness that's in this fragrance is absolutely stunning. Now, this fragrance also has a nice citrus accord in the opening. Pomelo, orange, beautiful citrus, and kind of a, I'm not gonna say, yeah, I'll say ripe. So a ripe, citrusy, sweet opening, a booziness, but when you get to the dry down, bruh, there's a cocoa, cacao, chocolate vibe in this that is, bruh, ain't nothing matching that. Pure sexiness. I put this on, I'm looking nice, and it just elevates me to the point where I'm stepping out, I'm going out with my wife, she on my arm, and I'm not looking at nothing else but her, and she ain't looking at nothing else but me, and we feel amazing. You know she gonna be rocking something dope too. But this right here, might I add, also is a unisex fragrance, a banger. Get this fragrance, guys. Go check out the whole line of Granado. Absolutely stunning and affordable prices. Yeah, let's go check out the next one. Now, all these fragrances that I'm talking about right now are my style. You know I love fragrances that cause conversation, turn heads, and are leaning more on the spicy, kind of darker, and I would say erotic side. But you can rock every single one of these right now in the summer because most of them have something that is either floral or citrusy. And the next fragrance I have here is from Niche and Perfumes, and the name fits perfectly for right now in June, Sun. Now, Sun, I've talked about a few times, but this is one of those, I really don't want to tell you about the fragrance, but pure sexiness. I would even go a step further by calling this dangerously seductive. The opening starts off, in my opinion, with a chocolate-like amber. The amber is definitely a combination of starting off like a crystallized amber, but then very quickly turns into a oriental resinous sweet kind of sappy amber. if you can imagine that sappy amber melting and then connecting right into a bowl of like milk chocolate, that's the opening for me. Not to mention there's a soft spice hovering around this fragrance that anybody smelling this fragrance on you or you smelling it on someone else, you're gonna follow them like a puppy. What is that? What, bro? I cannot tell you, I cannot stress to you how stunning this is. And I don't wear it a lot because I'm saving it. I'm saving it for when I'm trying to show off. Oh, and it's not beast mode. It's like good 70% in that range of beast mode, but it calms down after about maybe an hour to the projection being moderate. It isn't filling the room unless you spray 10, 15 sprays on you. But yo, stunner. The dry down, in my opinion, is also very nice. It lightens up a little bit with a powdery amber and a white musk, but that, like I said, that hovering chocolate amber soft spice is like right beside that. A must have, get it. The bottle is stunning. The fragrance is even sexier. Trust your boy, trying to hook you up. Ladies, I'm not gonna leave y'all out. I told y'all I'm trying to hook y'all up. Now, this fragrance right here, I bought it for myself. I wore it. I'm like, okay, this smells good. One day my wife wanted to wear something at my collection. Let her wear this. Completely hypnotized in 2 seconds. What do you have on? I'm literally telling you, I did not know what fragrance. I'm like, did you buy a new fragrance? No, this is the one you gave me. BDK Rouge Smoking Extrait. I'm like, what? Yes, a cherry smoky gourmand fragrance that smells like, to me, a sweet cherry jam, a cigar dipped into like maybe a cherry wine or some cherry tobacco leaves, a soft spiciness that's in this, and then it turned into a heavy, dark, spicy with some smoke behind it. And you would think smoke would not be super attractive on a female. But this right here, my wife wears this and I can find her anywhere. That's how dope and seductive the scent trail is. I'm like, yep, my wife is here. Let me follow this. And when I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the joint. Go get your nose on it. Don't get it for yourself, guys. If you want your girl, your wife, your fiance to smell sexy, if you want to have this aphrodisiac type of vibe, this is the one to get. Go check it out. Now this next fragrance is my summer seductive fragrance. This is the fragrance I'm wearing on the beach. This is the fragrance I'm wearing on vacation. And I like when companies that don't usually do citrus fragrance take a chance. Now, Kajal is known for their tropical fragrances, but Kajal 3 literally smells like a citrus soda, like Sierra Mist, 7-Up, or Sprite. And then someone threw some ice cream in the base and some orange in the middle. And when I sprayed this, I just was like, this literally reminds me of South Beach, sitting in one of the most exotic pools, chilling, drinking a tropical drink. That's what this fragrance reminds me of. And if you go on to Miami, first of all, you better, I'm not gonna say you better, you should be in the best shape of your life if you're going around, walking around with either a nice t-shirt on or no shirt on at all. And I'm talking to my guys. If you want to smell sexy while you're doing that, this is the one to get. Like I said, opening of a really fresh grapefruit, almost a lemon peel zest, that citrus, I would say 7-Up soda-like vibe, a soft spice of ginger, and in my opinion, ice cream or vanilla ice cream and orange, so almost like that orange popsicle icicle. is dope, guys. Get your nose on it. One of the most sexiest fragrances, especially for the summer. This is it. Now, this next fragrance I was gonna put on here because House of Sillage is just stepped up their game in my opinion, or I just been, kind of sleeping on the house. I've smelled a few in years past, but I just recently started jumping into the house. I was gonna put Batman on here because I think that that is a sexy fragrance. But if you're talking about a brush your shoulder off, swagged out sexy, especially for a man, Ruby Flames is it. Now, once again, I say this is a fragrance you can absolutely wear right now in the summer. More summer nights, in my opinion, because of the beautiful, bright, fresh rose note that's in the opening. Not only that beautiful, nice, seductive rose, but you're gonna get a barrage of spices. Coriander, pink pepper. Now, they're not heavy spices, but they're soft spices with a little bit of a sweetness behind the spices. There's this cocoa or cacao shells that give off this kind of nice bitter chocolate, then turns into a dark chocolate vibe when you get down to the base of the fragrance. For me, that chocolate note goes all the way to the base, then you're introduced to a nice chocolate, almost earthy chocolate patchouli. Now, combine that chocolate, rose, patchouli, and to me, pure sexiness in a bottle. You guys smell Batman. Y'all know that's dope. So get your nose on this one because I think this is a limited edition. All right, let's go check out the next one. So I want to introduce you guys to one of the newest fragrances from J. Bulan that I think is, how can I put it? This is one of the sexiest fragrances he's released in a long time, yes. But there is a partner or a fragrance you can layer with this that will shoot the sexiness of this fragrance to the stratosphere. And that fragrance I'm talking about is Confidante from J. Bulan. Yes, Confidante. Let me just tell you, I went through probably 20 samples that I was sent by J. Bulan. And this, about 4 of them that really blew my mind. But this one right here, another fragrance that is purely seductive in every way. There's tropical fruits in the opening. I don't know what fruits I'm smelling, except I know there is something raspberry. There is something very thick, almost like I would say mango, or maybe even the coconut vibe in the opening, right? But there's a freshness that comes along with that. There's Mysore sandalwood in the base of this fragrance that makes it super creamy and seductive. And you know Mysore sandalwood is very, very exclusive. There is the apple accord in here that brings a little bit of sweetness, but also a ripeness. That's in the top. But when you kind of dive down to the base of this fragrance, and what I say is pure seduction, pure sexiness. There's a suede and a hint, a beautiful, sexy hint of oud in this joint right here. If you get this, get your girl, the partner of this fragrance. You can layer it too. It's called Quintessential NYC or Quintessential New York. Those two new fragrances from Bulan, gorgeous. Gorgeous on their own and even better smelling together. That's why this is on the list. Stay tuned for my full review. All right, so this next fragrance is kind of a double header because I just recently figured out that you need to wear these together. For me, it kind of puts off this alluring pheromone that I feel will drive ladies crazy. And that is the combination of these two fragrances here. We have Dazzling Dubai by Fiage, and right here, I told you, Granite by Vresiana. Now, the attar, this is pomegranate, tropical fruits, and an animalistic oud note in here. This is dry fruits, resinous accords, spices, Of course, you have the Middle Eastern oud accord in here, or vibe, I'll say. But there is something that happens. This transforms into a new type of, I'm not even gonna say fragrance, it's something even better. This almost turns into like an extract oil concentration. But you have the fruitiness, you have the oud, the animalistic tones, you have the spiciness, the resinous vibes from this, not to mention, like I said, the oud and also the fruitiness. But this is more dry, tropical fruits. Sexy, purely, point blank, period. Get your nose on both of these, get them in your collection. You know how it is. You want the discount code, click the link below, it should be up here. So this next fragrance could have been my number one. The only reason I didn't put it there is because I've had this fragrance for a few years and you guys have kind of heard me talk about how sexy it is multiple times, but I'm not gonna leave it off the list because you new guys need to get not only onto the house, but this particular fragrance. This is Edelon. Edelon is by Vincent Dreamhouse. And cherry done absolutely right. A dark, boozy cherry wine. Now, I'm gonna leave right there. How many dark, boozy, really authentic cherry wine fragrances do you have? This right here cannot be beat. That's not the seductive part. Yes, it's there, but there's some dark spices and amber. And when I mean spices, I mean there's different levels of spices. It's the dark, almost peppery spice. Then there's the sweet kind of cinnamon spice. And there's almost a mixture of Middle Eastern, Caribbean spices in the base with almost, to me, this smells like someone took a barrel of cognac and dipped amber into it and left it there and then took the lid off and your face was over it. Tell me that's not, come on, man. That's it. What else do you need when you talk about sexy? This right here is absolutely stunning. Beast mode, long lasting, and when I tell you the girls' necks are gonna be turning, I ain't gonna speak about it no more. Get yourself a sample, or I would say this is a easy blind buy. I blind bought it, and I'm getting the backup bottle. I got one more after this one, but this right here, I had to make a double header because I couldn't pick either one. Both of these fragrances, to me, are the sexiest fragrances in their collection. And I'm talking about the new fragrance house and Joy. And we have Veil, and we also have Renaissance. Now to me, you already know I love that dark juice when it comes to a fragrance. That gets me excited. But when it came to Veil, it definitely surprised me, turned my head. I thought Renaissance was gonna be my number one pick, nothing was gonna touch it, because not only does it have one of the most realistic tobacco notes in the game, yes, but also has a beautiful, stunning plum note that is captivating. Very simply put, fresh, ripe, juicy plum in the opening, fresh, almost feel like tobacco, but when you get to the dry down, it turns into a dry tobacco, a sweet tobacco. It turned into almost like a wine accord when it comes to the plum notes, sweet and seductive. There's beautiful spices in this. Go check out my review. It's dope. But I couldn't just say this one. I just got Veil maybe 2 weeks ago by the time this video comes out. When I smelled this, it was love at first sniff. Who in the world is gonna turn down a Granny Smith apple covered in caramel, infused with chocolate, and then to me has hovering around it almost like a bubble of citrus. Like, to me, it smells like a sweet lemon accord around that, with a touch of a feminine take of powderiness and a peach accord that makes this absolutely unisex. But for me, on a guy, and what I've heard from the perfumer and the creator of the fragrance, is that most of the people that try this fragrance are men and fall in love with this. But to me, these two right here are the sexiest fragrances you can get. And not to mention, black-owned, independent niche fragrance houses from Atlanta that are affordable. Under $130 for each fragrance. And I got you. I'm gonna hook you up with a discount code. Use Rome 2026 and you can get 15% off these fragrances and the oils. That's what I do, trying to hook you up. Now let's go check out the last one. All right, so this was very hard to pick. I was like, what fragrance did I have that I consider not only new in my collection, new for 2026, but also I can't get enough of. My wife loves it on me. Those are the most important. Like, if my wife won't like it, I'm not calling it sexy. I might like it, but that's a little delusional. I need her to tell me that, ooh, that smells good on you. Then it's a check mark. And this one right here, Amber Sapphire, the newest fragrance in my collection, or one of the newest. Bruh, one of the newest fragrances in my collection. This is from the new, I think it's Eternal line from Boadicea to Victorious. Now, this isn't a new fragrance, it was re-released. But, smelled it before, all right, I'm not really impressed. Years past, smelled it again, I'm in love. Aromatic, spicy cinnamon in the opening. A nice floral mid, some booziness following the floral notes, and then a decent present of oud and some wood textures in the base of this fragrance. But the cinnamon, the, I guess, amber essence that's in this fragrance, this is the best Oriental fragrance and the most sexiest Oriental fragrance in all of my entire collection. Hundreds of fragrances you see here, and got some more over there. But this right here is the #1 sexiest fragrance in my collection for 2026. You guys, I had the 10 mil and immediately was like, yeah, I'm getting this. I didn't need this. The 10 mil can last me at least a year. Why would I want this if I have that in all of those? It's a reason, because it's that dang sexy. Go get your nose on it. You can thank me later. So, those are my fragrances. I think that's 10 fragrances. Yeah, they're about 10 that I consider to be the sexiest fragrances of 2026, especially fragrances you can rock right now in the summer. So, go check it out. I think you guys will appreciate what I consider to be sexy fragrances, because I want you guys to smell sexy also. With that said, once again, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. All glory goes to you. I praise you in every way. Jesus, 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 I love you. I thank you, my Father, for everything. I want to ask you guys another question, because once again, I'm walking this journey as a Christian, following Christ, just like you guys are. Do you think it's appropriate to call other Christians out when you see them doing sinful things? Now, we're all sinful people, but if you consider yourself to be, I'm not going to say righteous, completely righteous, but a righteous person or a believer in Christ, and you want to walk in that way, but you see someone that's calling himself a Christian, judging people, using alcohol, smoking, using drugs, cussing all the time, right? Going places they shouldn't be. And you know these people, friend, associate, coworker, Do we approach them? Do we talk to them? Do we say what we're supposed to say as Christians? Hey, that's not our way. Or how do we approach them? Me, myself, if I see someone that I know is a friend or a colleague or an associate, I feel that it's our obligation to reel them back in. I feel it is our obligation to be kind, but also stern in what we believe. Hey, you're walking in the wrong way. Hey, that's not a Christian way. I don't think you should be drinking. I don't think you should be smoking that. You shouldn't be going to that place, man. How are you going to preach the gospel? How are you going to talk about God and you at the strip club? How are you going to represent Christ if you're living still a fleshly life, sinful life? So I'm asking you guys, do you know people that call themselves Christians, believers and followers of Christ, and still living in the world, but then saying Jesus, Jesus, and going to church on Sunday? If you do you try to bring them back? Let me know. All right, that's it, my guys. That's all I wanted to say. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys, and I always will. Till next time, like I always say, it's okay if you want to smell like Rome. I'll check you guys out on the next video. God bless. In Jesus' name. Peace.